I just finished a session with a client who wanted to quit. She was being pushed by her upline, by my coaching program, by so many different voices that she felt like she just wanted to give up, quit, end it, too much. And I think back to when I first started, and it reminded me very similar of the experience that she's going through, which starts with her identity. She said that she was focusing on business stuff, but truly, ultimately, she just wanted to know who she was, her identity, her purpose, that she could feel connected with her body and her mind and her spirit. And as interesting as that might seem, as entrepreneurs, we're all about, yeah, make money, I want to make money, I want to make money. But ultimately, we want to feel fulfilled. We want to feel something. It's not just about attaining the goal. We want to experience things that give us emotions. And for her, we have a process that we go through, which is to express emotions at an extreme. And why do we do that? We do that because if I have an emotion that I'm avoiding, let's say I don't want to feel sad, I don't want to feel depressed, which I had been depressed for years, and I didn't want to experience that myself because I felt trapped in that emotional state. We don't want to be victims to our emotions. And the emotions that we felt victimized by, we avoid. So the moment we can confront that emotion and express it and work through it, to get so comfortable with it that we don't fear it, that we can consciously go there and come out, that means you have become someone capable of experiencing emotions instead of being victimized by them. I know it might seem weird, but for me, I had been addicted to pornography, and lust was one of those emotions that was tied to the addiction. So for me to overcome pornography, I didn't need to get out of just avoiding porn. What I needed to do was confront the emotion that I was fearing in the addiction. Or also the opposite happens, is the emotion that I'm trying to get from the addiction. And there's always two polar emotions in anything that we're trying to let go of or embrace. There's an ideal emotion and a non-ideal emotion. For me, the porn experience, I had gone through some experiences growing up where I felt really guilty and ashamed because I felt like I was responsible for my parents' divorces. And I didn't know how to work through it. And so I would do something. I literally felt guilty because of their divorce, which sounds crazy. But instead of expressing it, which I wasn't taught to, I stuffed it. I stuffed that emotion. And I turned to porn, which gave me a sense of guilt based on what I grew up with and my religion and my background and things like that. And it actually felt very validating because for the first time in my life, I felt guilt and I knew that there was a purpose for it. I felt so liberating. Finally, I feel guilty and it's a conscious thing and it feels so good because now all this guilt that I had inside that I didn't even know and understand, I do this thing, feel guilt. That's why I feel guilty. Oh, okay, cool. Versus, oh, no, I actually felt guilty because my parents went through a divorce and I subconsciously took that on as my fault. And then I'm constantly seeking for validation, trying it on all the dumbest things that you could do, whether it's achieving goals or self-sabotaging. And so for this lady, as I was helping her, she needed to be able to express the emotions. Just like me, I need to express guilt. I need to express lust, which was the polar piece. And I was afraid of both of those emotions. One could be used for good, one could be used for non-good, and they have a polarity to them. So I had to be able to confront those emotions, work through them, and consciously go into lust, consciously go into guilt, and consciously get out. I also feared depression because I was depressed for many years, suicidal tendencies. So I needed to confront that and work through depression. So could I consciously go into a state of depression and sadness and then consciously take myself out? And the more I worked through it, the more I saw that emotions are meant to serve us. They're not meant to bind us, to trap us, to suppress us, to be ashamed about. Our emotions are energy in motion. It's meant to use to create, to go serve, to go help, to go be a better husband, to go be a better father, to go be a better coach. And those emotions are part of who you are. Don't stuff your emotions. Allow your emotions to work for you, not against you. You can be the master of your emotions without being a slave to them. Most people on the planet I see are victims and slaves to their emotions because they're afraid of them. They've allowed their emotions to dictate how they feel versus saying, I am going to consciously use this emotion to create something in my life. Before I was making any money as a coach, I was afraid of anger. I had seen anger going up and I avoided it. And I did not want to get angry because I didn't want to hurt people. And with that, I also feared anger. So therefore, I didn't have any passion because passion felt like anger. So if I got passionate about something, it was like, oh no, I'm angry. That's not good. Don't be passionate because I'm going to hurt someone. But passion is a choice. You can consciously go into a passionate state and consciously get out. But it's about creating with purpose. In order to create wealth, I had to become a passionate person, which meant I could no longer fear anger. Sometimes I had to get angry at myself. I had to get this, what I call a righteous indignation, to light a fire under me and get my lazy butt off the couch or video games to go create something productive. And if I would have let my fear of emotion stop me, then I would just not create anything. I'd be a victim to my situation and circumstances. So if you're in a state where you're feeling off, you're feeling disconnected to yourself, you don't know your purpose, and maybe you're doing a ton of stuff business-wise or in your marriage or in whatever you're doing, if some part of you feels off, you need to reconnect. Do so through emotional expression. Feel it to the extreme, to the most extreme you could possibly do. So if it was anger, you want to go so angry and then take yourself out. If it's joy, if you are not experiencing very much happiness, go so extreme, like too much, and then pull yourself out. And you can test this with so many different emotions. Okay? Don't be a victim to your emotions. You're the master. You can choose for yourself. I'm Tyler Watson. Thanks for watching this today. If you've enjoyed this, like, subscribe. I believe more people need to experience the power of emotions, need to feel it and stop suppressing themselves. Because if you suppress too many emotions down, boom, 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 guess what? Depression occurs. And I believe that if we want to end things like suicide and depression, we have to get into a state of expression. Be okay feeling heard, being seen. Get to know your body to the extreme. All right, with that, thanks for joining me. Share this if it resonates, and we'll see you next time.